Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into something super interesting, something we get a lot of questions about. It's all about vitamin D.
Yeah, vitamin D, it's essential stuff.
We always hear about it being important for bone health,
Right. Strong bones, we've all heard that.
but I've been seeing more and more about how it's involved in way more than just that.
Absolutely. And we actually had a
Mhm.
listener write in asking about this very thing.
Yeah, they were curious about what vitamin D really does for the body beyond just, keeping our bones strong.
Exactly. So that's our mission today, to uncover the hidden superpowers of vitamin D.
I love that, the hidden superpowers. So where do we even begin?
Well, one of the most fascinating things about vitamin D is its connection to the immune system.
Okay, so not just fighting off colds, we're talking like serious immune stuff.
Yeah. It's actually crucial in making sure your immune system doesn't, well, attack you.
Whoa, wait, attack me. That sounds a little,
It
scary.
definitely can be. Imagine your immune system as this incredibly complex army. Right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
You've got all these soldiers, these cells, that are trained to recognize the enemy and fight them off.
Right, keeping us safe from all the bad stuff.
Exactly. But just like in any army, you need to make sure your soldiers don't accidentally turn on their own allies.
Oh, right, like friendly fire, that's never good.
Definitely not. And that's where vitamin D comes in.
Hmm.
It actually plays a critical role in training your immune system to distinguish between your own cells and those foreign invaders.
So it's like teaching them who the real enemies are.
Exactly. And this process is called central tolerance. It's super important for preventing something called autoimmune diseases.
Autoimmune diseases, that's when your body starts attacking itself, right?
Right, you got it. Like type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, even things like rheumatoid arthritis. These are all autoimmune diseases.
Wow, so pretty serious stuff.
And get this, research is showing a pretty strong link between low vitamin D levels and a higher risk of developing these conditions.
Okay, so I'm definitely paying attention now. But how does that even work? Like, how does vitamin D help prevent my immune system from attacking me?
Well, there's this small organ in your chest called the thymus. You can think of it as the immune system's boot camp.
Boot camp, huh? Sounds intense.
It is. Inside the thymus, your immune cells, these T cells, are learning to tell the difference between your body's own cells, the friendlies,
Okay, got it, friendlies.
and the foreign invaders, let's call them the bad guys.
Got it, friendlies versus bad guys.
Exactly. So the thymus is like this training ground where your T cells learn to identify the enemy.
Okay, so vitamin D is somehow involved in this training process.
Big time. When you have enough vitamin D, your thymus can do its job effectively, making sure those T cells only go after the real threats.
But if my vitamin D levels are low,
Then things can get a little messy. The training gets disrupted.
oh no. So those T cells, they might start seeing the friendly cells as the enemy.
Exactly. And they can become what we call self-reactive. They basically go rogue, attacking healthy tissues and causing all sorts of problems.
Okay, this is getting more and more interesting, but also kind of scary. So how low do my vitamin D levels have to be to cause these kinds of problems? Like, what's the danger zone?
Well, generally, optimal vitamin D levels are considered to be between 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter.
Okay, nanograms per milliliter, got it. So if my levels are below that, I'm at a higher risk for these autoimmune issues.
It's not a guarantee, but the research suggests a pretty strong correlation. The good news is it's super easy to get your vitamin D levels checked with a simple blood test.
Okay, good to know. I'm definitely making a note to get that checked. And I'm guessing you're going to tell me the best way to boost my levels is by soaking up some sunshine.
You know it. Sunshine is definitely the best source of vitamin D. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Okay, tell me more. What's so amazing about sunshine and vitamin D?
Well, when your skin is exposed to sunlight, it actually produces vitamin D naturally.
Whoa, so our bodies can just make it themselves.
Exactly. It's like built-in sunshine magic.
Yeah.
But of course, there's always a catch. We have to be careful about too much sun exposure.
Right, too much sun can be a problem. So how do I find that balance between getting enough vitamin D and protecting my skin?
That's a great question, and we'll dive into all that right after the break. Yeah, it's all about finding that sweet spot.
Sweet spot, I like that.
Don't bake yourself for hours on end, but get those short bursts of sun exposure, especially early morning or late afternoon.
Okay, so short and sweet sunshine sessions, I can do that. But what if I live, somewhere that doesn't get a lot of sun, especially in the winter?
That's where supplements come in. There are some great vitamin D supplements out there,
Yeah, I've seen them at the store.
and your doctor can help figure out the right dosage for you, based on your blood test results.
Okay, so sunshine or supplements, got it. So we've talked about how vitamin D helps train my immune system, to avoid that friendly fire.
Right, the central tolerance.
But what else does it do? Like, what other roles does it play in my body?
Oh, so much more. Remember we were talking about the immune system being like an army?
Yeah, with all the soldiers and the friendlies and the bad guys, I remember.
Well, vitamin D doesn't just train the troops, it actually helps equip them to fight off the enemy.
Whoa, okay, now I'm really picturing this little army inside me. So how does it do that? Like, how does it help them fight?
Well, a couple of really cool ways. First, it increases the production of these things called antimicrobial
The
peptides.
antimicrobial peptides. Okay, that sounds pretty intense.
They are. Think of them as tiny little soldiers on the front lines,
Okay, tiny soldiers.
directly attacking any invading germs.
So vitamin D is like giving my tiny soldiers extra firepower.
You got it. It goes even further than that.
Further.
Vitamin D actually helps regulate that part of your immune system that learns and remembers specific pathogens.
Oh, so it's helping my immune system become smarter.
Exactly, like it's building up this database of all the bad guys it's encountered before.
So it's involved in both like the immediate attack and the long-term strategy.
Precisely. Vitamin D is making sure your immune system is ready for anything.
This is incredible. It really is like a superhero nutrient. We started this whole conversation because I was curious about vitamin D beyond just its role in, bone health, which we always hear about.
Right, and we've gotten pretty deep into this immune system stuff.
We have. So what else can vitamin D do? Does it really have an impact on things like muscle strength and brain health?
It does.
Really?
Yeah, let's start with the muscles. You know how calcium is super important for strong bones?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's also essential for muscle function.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And guess what? Vitamin D helps your body absorb that calcium more effectively.
So it's like the ultimate teammate for calcium, helping it do its job in both my bones and muscles.
Exactly. And studies have actually shown that people with low vitamin D, they can experience muscle weakness.
Really?
And they're even more prone to falls, especially as they get older.
Wow. I'm starting to see why vitamin D is so important for like overall health, not just specific things.
Absolutely. It's a big player in the body.
What about the brain? You mentioned that it might have some protective effects there.
Yes, there's some really interesting research emerging about the connection between vitamin D and brain health.
Okay, this is
It
fascinating.
seems that vitamin D might have these anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
I've heard those are good things.
They are. They might help protect brain cells from damage.
So vitamin D isn't just fighting off those rogue T cells in the immune system, it's also helping to keep my brain healthy.
It really does seem that way.
I'm liking vitamin D more and more with everything we learn.
It's pretty impressive. And there's even more to it.
More. What else?
Vitamin D might actually play a role in how your body uses and regulates energy.
Energy. Okay, now you have to tell me more about this.
Well, you know how insulin is a hormone that helps your body control blood sugar levels?
Yeah, I've heard of insulin.
Well, it seems that vitamin D might influence how sensitive your body is to insulin.
What does that mean?
It basically means it might help your cells respond to insulin more effectively.
And why is that important?
Well, that's crucial for maintaining healthy blood sugar levels.
So if I'm not getting enough vitamin D, my blood sugar control might be affected.
That's what the research is suggesting. Some studies have even linked low vitamin D to a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so we've got the immune system, muscle strength, brain health, and now blood sugar control.
It's kind of amazing all the different things vitamin D is involved in, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Anything else I should know about?
Oh, there are even more potential benefits that researchers are exploring, like a possible link to mood regulation, heart health, and even cancer risk.
Wow, okay, so we can do a whole other deep dive on just those topics.
Exactly.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, can we just recap the key takeaways from today? I feel like we've covered so much ground.
Yeah, for sure. What are the big things we learned today about vitamin D? Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Well, first off, vitamin D, it's not just about strong bones.
Right. We learned about
It
that.
plays this vital role in keeping your whole body working well, your whole system.
It really does.
We talked about how it's essential for training your immune system.
Yeah, teaching it to tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys.
Exactly. That's crucial for preventing those autoimmune diseases, where your body starts attacking itself.
And we talked about how vitamin D helps boost our defenses, too.
Right, by increasing those little antimicrobial peptides.
The tiny soldiers.
Yes, the tiny soldiers that fight off those germs.
It's pretty amazing. We also touched on its role in muscle function
And brain health.
and even blood sugar regulation. It's like vitamin D is involved in everything.
It really is. It's kind of a powerhouse.
So if you're not getting enough vitamin D, you could be missing out on some pretty major health benefits.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And the best way to make sure you're getting enough is through, well, a combination of things.
Like what?
Safe sun exposure. We talked about that.
Right, those short and sweet sunshine sessions.
Exactly. And if you need it, supplementation.
Right. And remember, we learned that it's super easy to get your vitamin D levels checked.
Yeah, just a simple blood test.
So talk to your doctor about that.
Yeah, get your levels checked, talk to your doctor, see if supplementation is right for you. They can help you figure out the dosage.
It's always good to have those conversations with your doctor. You know, what I find really fascinating is how much we're still learning about vitamin D. It's like it wasn't that long ago that all we really focused on was its role in bone health.
Yeah, it was kind of the main thing everyone knew about, strong bones.
Right. But now we're uncovering all these incredible connections to all these different parts of our health. It's amazing.
It really is. Like, we've opened up this whole new world of understanding about vitamin D and how important it is for our well-being. Who knows what else we'll discover down the road?
That's a great point. There's so much more to explore. I mean, if vitamin D is playing such a key role in all these systems we talked about today, what other benefits might we be missing out on? It makes you wonder.
It really does. That's the exciting part about science. There's always more to learn. It's like an ongoing adventure.
I love that.
I always encourage people, stay curious.
Yes.
Keep reading. Keep asking questions.
Exactly.
Keep exploring all that research out there. You never know what amazing things you might find.
I am definitely feeling more curious after this deep dive. I know I'm going to be paying way more attention to my vitamin D levels now. And thanks to you, I have a much better understanding of why it's so important.
It was my pleasure. I'm so glad we could dig into this together. It's so important for everyone to take charge of their health.
That it is.
And understanding vitamin D, that's a big part of it.
Absolutely. And to everyone listening out there, remember, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
The more you understand about how your amazing body works, the better decisions you can make for your health.
So true.
So stay curious, keep learning, keep exploring. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.